They always say that every journey starts with a single step. I am going to start it by opening my door. And we're off. Hi there. My name is Daniel Ross, and I am a huge Transformers fan. I also happen to be an actor and voice actor.
This is the result of opposing the Decepticons. Let this be a lesson to the rest of their miserable race.
We are on our way now to the recording studio, and I am simply out of my mind. My quest for Transformers started about, I think it's going on 4 years now. It was announced that producer Don Murphy was going to be involved in bringing a Transformers project to life. And this was around the time where I was really pushing for, the beginnings of my career as an actor and voice actor. And I remembered the words of a special lady named Molly Finn, who's the casting director for Warner Brothers, or was the casting director for Warner Brothers. She pulled me aside after an audition when I was younger and said, "Daniel, I want you to always remember this. It's the squeaky wheel that gets the grease." So I began a campaign on Don Murphy's message board, basically just asking to be given a chance. And there was so much outpouring of support, not only from friends, but people, I've never even talked to before. I can't even begin to describe how humbled I was. And I remembered that Elijah Wood made a video of himself for Peter Jackson. He videotaped himself in the woods, dressed as a hobbit, and, recited lines from the Lord of the Rings books. And I thought to myself, how can I achieve something similar? I don't have a budget. I also help run one of the largest online Transformer communities, allspark.com. I realized we had such a huge art community, and it just dawned on me, do a comic book. We got the idea together, and I had some great artists, Jake Eisenberg, Winston Bolen, Kevin Russell, Don Figueroa, Simon Furman, and all of a sudden, I had this amazing product to deliver, a comic book that featured me with the Transformers. It was cheesy, it was campy, it was probably a little out there in terms of self-promotion, but that's what you gotta do in this business. And with my agent's help, I ended up sending this to everyone involved in the project. I received feedback that Michael Bay got a kick out of it, and it was sitting on his desk. And the feedback overall was just tremendous. When I got that audition, you're not going to believe it, I was actually in Toys R Us looking for new Transformers! Go figure! I have a Transformers collection of almost 1,000 toys. I don't know what it is, I've always loved Transformers. These were these huge, huge characters, and to me there was just something magical about it. So I've carried a bit of Transformers with me ever since I was a little kid. I got the call from my agent, and it was like nothing I had ever felt before in my life. I didn't care if I got it. I didn't care what anybody else said. All that mattered was that I set out to do something, and I did it. And this audition was done entirely over the internet. I received the sides directly from the casting company. Those included Ironhide, Ratchet, and Jazz, all of which I was told to give 2 takes for each versions. And it's intimidating for them to say, do the original, and then give us your take on it. Come to think of it, I'm actually getting kind of nervous. Any one of these vehicles could be a giant transformer. Maybe even that one! Maybe I'm not the best for this project. I hope they're going for a trilogy, so I'll have 3 times the chances. So last year, summer of 2006, I decided that I would head out to E3 over in LA. There at the expo was Activision. With a giant Optimus Prime statue, big and foreboding, and I knew, right when I saw that I had to make my presence known. I had copies of The Voice Within, my comic book, as well as my demo. I went to the Activision booth, and I hounded them. I dropped off my comic book, I dropped off my demo, I looked for the executive producers, I left messages. I really wanted to make a stink. I wanted to make some noise. And lo and behold, I got contacted by the executive producer for the Transformers video game. I auditioned for a couple different characters, and the feedback was really good. The team at Activision liked what I had to offer, and subsequently offered me the role of Starscream.
Decepticons, this is Starscream. Make for the rendezvous point. The Allspark will soon be ours.
I was blown away. I didn't know what to think, because it was like, here's everything I want, just being pushed together, and the elation that I felt was just extraordinary. And wow, Starscream. I mean, this is one of the most iconic Transformer characters ever, and I'm being asked to voice him. I couldn't believe it. Chris Latta voiced the original Starscream, and that was an amazing voice in and of itself. Later to be voiced by other voice actors like Michael Dobson. You know, this is huge. How do I meet the expectations, not only of myself as a fan, but all the other fans, and how do I keep true to the character?
Are you giving me an order, Frenzy? Because it sounded suspiciously like one.
You know, I'm a guy from Maryland who grew up with, meager beginnings, and just somebody who's shooting for their dreams. I think if I could share just one message with anybody out there, it would be, follow your dreams. Pursue it to the fullest. Do what you have to do to see that realized. And don't let anything get in your way. Do your best.
Okay?